That's kind of a lot of games. So that was that. Hello everyone, my name is Prey Scooter. And if this is the first time you're hearing of me, well, hello. This video is something I want to make just kind of no script, nothing else. There's no script to anything I'm saying right now. It's all off the cuff. But this video is me talking about the fact that I've crossed the threshold of 1,000 of something. Now, it's not 1,000 videos in general. Good heavens, no. If I actually did like properly edited content that took, any more than like a week to make, then maybe 1,000 videos would be something to be impressed by. No. I've done 1,000, videos on games that are just kind of indie or new. There is, if you go to the playlist of my Think Fast series, it is over 1,000 titles deep. And I want to highlight that. One, I guess, obviously, just to inflate my own ego a little bit. But two, because, again, 1,000 of anything is remarkable. But that also means I've tried sharing 1,000 plus games with you, my viewers. And gotten you interested in the indie game market, if at all possible. It's hard to think that, it's hard to think when I think back about it, because I've been a man on this world a long time, that somebody like myself would be playing so many games, trying them all, and even trying to pitch them to you guys. Kind of started with, ironically enough, what you can see just above my head up here. Me being obsessed with Pac-Man back in the day. Evolving into, well, actually, that's an indie game right there above my hand. So there are a lot of those. Not so much on this shelf here. A couple back here. One or two back here. And countless ones on PC, but it's all been in the vein to encourage not only you guys, but myself to keep trying new things. I understand you can get into a genre or a series or something and kind of be stuck there because that's your thing. And I guess to an extent, I'm kind of putting myself into that own issue because I'm sort of becoming the Dynasty Warriors guy on YouTube. Of title pending, of course. But it is me attempting to encourage you guys to try and take that same plunge. Now granted, you don't have to be an idiot like me and spend pretty much all of your future money you'll ever have on video games. Good heavens, no, don't go crazy like I am. It's just to encourage you to try new things. I have had a handful of friends, I hate to say it growing up, but it's the best phrase I can think of. A handful of friends growing up on this platform that really pigeonholed themselves into one thing and kind of just became known for that one thing. And when they didn't do that one thing, they just petered out and died. Sorry, a bit harsh for words. I'm gonna name drop throughout this video here, so forgive me. Good friend of mine, Joe Schiller, he's currently in the process of pivoting to a new outlook for his, for his content creation journey, but for a while he kind of got himself to be known as the Smash Brothers guy, the Mario Kart guy, and the Splatoon guy. If he didn't do if he did a video that wasn't any of those three games, there might be more, and he can correct me if he happens to come across this video. If it was anything other than those three games or those three series, nobody cared. It's also, the biggest example I can give of this, oddly enough, if we're going to name drop here, is Kobatamani. That guy was known for Sonic, and nothing but Sonic. If he did something that wasn't Sonic, people thought he died. Again, harsh words. Also, just to be clear, he is alive and well. I just haven't spoken with him in about 7 years, so I don't know how he's doing. But again, this whole journey was an attempt to like get myself and others interested in games that aren't just, you know, what you would think of being. I mean, I'm kind of wearing half of it on my clothing right now, and you can see half it around my room. Pigeonholes as a Nintendo guy, you know, it's like, oh, you only play Mario, you only play Pokemon. I don't want to pigeonhole myself into that or any one specific genre or even series. And I encourage, and while I'm doing this Think Fast series, I encourage you guys to have kind of that same mentality in a sense. You can have a favorite series and everything like that. Kind of like I said, you know, my favorite genre being the beat 'em up genre, loosely translating to the Dynasty Warriors games, but beat 'em ups are my favorite genre. I'm using the wrong hand, sorry. It's hard to do this stuff mirrored. On this shelf behind me, there's maybe like 30 beat 'em ups. We'll highball. We'll say there's 50 beat 'em ups over here. Now, I know you guys are smart cookies and can guesstimate, but by the way, there's games hidden behind those plushies. This series of plushies over here, by the way, you can even see some of them back here. Not all those games are beat 'em ups. Some of them span other genres, of course. You know, RPGs, platformers. Only a couple of them, but tactics, arcade, shooters. The list kind of just goes on and on. Like, there's no like, there are so many genres of games that I have played for you guys and that I own that I know there's a good chance I'll never get to all of them. But I still sorry, I'm trying to hit my mic. I still space out what I do so that like I'm not just stuck playing the same thing forever and always. And again, as I repeat ad nauseum, I encourage you guys to kind of have that same philosophy. You would not be surprised how many wonderful games are out there that are made by 5 people instead of by 500 people. Basically, mildly updating the game from last year and re-releasing it. I think a game that comes to the forefront of my mind in recent times, a couple of them actually, that are made by a team that no more than a dozen big in most instances. Like the Hollow Knight games, Expedition 33, for my own personal camp, Indivisible. Like there's a lot of games out there that are made by teams no bigger than 12, no bigger than 5. Some of them are one-man wonders. I think Mega Bonk falls within that, but I'm not 100% sure on that. There are so many games out there that are done by people just doing it as a passion project that turns out to be way better than what like the set in stone established people are. And looping this back around to the front of this video, that's kind of what I've tried to do with this series, is show you things that aren't advertised ad nauseum, that you won't see in an advertisement, that 500,000 people aren't saying you should buy this game because it's the last game you had, just better. There are so many games out there that you just got to be, you know, brave and bold enough to jump out. Granted, I will level with you that yes, there are a handful of those same games and whatnot that, you know, are terribly programmed, terribly executed, or don't mesh with your brain. You know, I still cite the source of Intrusion 2, one of the very first Think Fast videos I ever did for you guys. I still kind of hold that as a game that I could not recommend for the life of me. It might be good. To some of you, it might be good. To me, I don't like it. I tried it, I gave it a good honest shake, I do not like the game. But a follow-up question that I kind of wanted is like the only bullet point that's like ringing through my head right now, only thing resembling a script is, what convinced me to even go on this journey to begin with? What even started this Think Fast series? 2 people. Technically 3, but the third person is like somebody who only plays indie games and then sporadically plays AAA. I'll include them in the mix, why not? most predominantly would be Jesse Cox, or OMFG Kata, as his old user tag would be. That man has shown off and previewed so many indie games right when I was in the formative YouTube years for myself that I wanted to jump on that train. And that led me to finding affiliates with him. The other one that I'm going to say is the most notable is, God rest his soul, Total Biscuit, or Cynical Brit. Granted, he put a little more effort into his videos that were of the same nature of my Think Fast videos, but that is kind of what the inspiration was his, is his WTF Is series. I'm a professional, by the way. But yeah, Total Biscuit's WTF Is series, which really sparked it. Granted, for him, he played anywhere from 5 to 20 hours before he put his video together. It was still an inspiration, and I still take that and run with it. Those two were the major push for me to make this Think Fast series. And I think by me keeping up this series, I think it kind of keeps that initial vision that I think they had, or still have. I don't know. How do you quantify it when one person is living and working in indie games and one person has passed with a legacy about exploring indie games? I don't know. Tactful, I am not. But I do hope that, me still doing this Think Fast series like I am does, keep that spirit alive of sample and experiment with many indie games. Now, I could even go deeper with this and do some things like the third person I'm going to mention here, even though they're not as influential, because they just do straight indie. They do straight indie full playthroughs. They don't do spotlight videos like this series does. Nakatili. But I could go deeper on this like they do and do stuff on itch.io that's a demo. I could do random passion game that has 2 levels to it and show it off. I could go even deeper on this, but I think I kind of put a stake, a line in the sand. That's basically, hold on, we're going too deep. Let's make this a fully finished game, no demos of what I'm showing off. That way, there's a benchmark of the developer thinks this game is worth money, and not just a little passion project that's they fleshed out from a game jam or something like that. 1,000 games, and you can probably see I'm trying to relax my face, but unfortunately I always hold my brow up high, so age is taking the best of me and showing it to you. These folds on my forehead betray me and show that I'm doing a lot of this. It has opened up my eyes up to a lot of things and show me so much. And I've been introduced to so many wonderful games as well, just by taking that initial plunge. I already called out Indivisible earlier in this video. But I mean, if I just look to my side here and grab, I'm just gonna go through my Switch collection. I'm not gonna pull up my PC collection because we'll be here another 5 hours. Actually, there is a game I can think of right now because I just put it away. I just put it away from when I was flipping through. Metroid Prime. If I had not done the Think Fast series and started just buying up games at random, seemingly, I would have never tried Metroid Prime. I probably would have never tried Metroid as a whole. But then some other games that I think are... I don't know if they're out or they're coming out. A lot of my Think Fast videos are scheduled super far in advance. But Yars Rising. Pretty competent, explorative platformer game that harkens back to Atari's heyday. It has even helped me go back a bit and look at other games that are not necessarily, that are from the new age, but have me look back at old games and see if I can look at them again and get new life. There's a handful of games that are in my collection here that come from knowing a friend, Teal Game Master, who kind of does the same thing, except he'll do it for an hour, whereas I'll do it 45 minutes at most. Hour plus even. But he's, him being a PlayStation kid got me interested in games like Tomba, Spyro, Crash, Jak and Daxter. I probably have started playing God of War, 2018 God of War, that some of you guys, that I still hold like one of my trophies of gaming excellence, of beating my first God of War on the second hardest difficulty with all 100% completion, minus the Odin's Eyes. Probably wouldn't happen if I didn't know and explore games that come from platforms that are outside of Nintendo. It really does I don't know, it really kind of just goes to show. So I'm stuck at my desk. It really kind of goes to show and exemplifies the fact that just try things. I understand not everybody has expendable funds or is lucrative, or not lucrative, the right word? It's so loose with their wallet like I am when it comes to the realm of video games, especially if things go on sale. I understand everybody's not the same, but that is the whole point of the series. Everything that I've taken from inspiration speaking up till now is try things. I try and push this method forward in aspects that aren't video games in my life, but I try to push forward, you guys. Just try things. Try stuff. Try a game. Try a new food. Try a new activity. It kind of is like the mentality of Think Fast in a whole is try something unfamiliar. I think I've kind of rambled on long enough, and I'm kind of out of words. I can't even ramble like I tend to do in this situation. That's really it. I implore you to find and try games. There's even some games that, when I share this with people, new possible, collaborative partners, I share this list and be like, hey, this is the longest series I've worked on, and I've done it for what is it, 15 years now, 14, something like that. And they see the thumbnail is Realm of the Mad God, a free-to-play game that I just tried and made it the pioneer episode of this whole series. People still ask me about that game and what it's like and how it is. Again, you just gotta try things. There's nothing deeper than that. Just gotta try stuff, man. Thank you all for your time. Thank you all for watching this little extra video that I put together where I just ramble on about the fact that I've shown you guys 1,000 games from all scales of game development, of game dev team size, from the 500 plus employees down to the 2 people. So thank you for your time. If you want to see more of the Think Fast series, I'm going to have it linked on the end card here in just a minute. But that's all for me. Me on the end card, edited by Charles C. Bernardo, or edited? Yeah, I'm good with words. Animated by Charles C. Bernardo. Go ahead and take it away, bud. Hey, thank you for watching. If you want to see more of this game, you can find the series playlist right up here. Also, the algorithm thinks that you'll like this other video of mine. And lastly, if you want to keep up to date on when I upload anything new, click on this icon above me. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.